Admiral Zixthal of the Korthani Empire had conquered 17 star systems without losing a single vessel. The humans of Earth would be no different, or so he believed as his massive fleet of 300 warships dropped out of hyperspace at the edge of their primitive solar system. "Analysis complete, Admiral," reported his tactical officer, mandibles clicking with excitement. "The humans possess rudimentary space travel, barely reaching their own moon. Their weapons are chemically propelled projectiles. They stand no chance against our plasma cannons." Zixthal's compound eyes gleamed with satisfaction. Intelligence had been correct. This would be another effortless conquest. The humans had somehow developed faster-than-light communication before achieving interstellar travel, an oddity that made them valuable for the Empire's communication network. They would serve well as slaves. "Begin the approach," he commanded. "Standard intimidation protocol. Destroy one of their outer planets to demonstrate our power, then demand surrender." The Korthani fleet advanced toward Earth, their ships gleaming like silver needles against the void. As they approached Mars, Admiral Zixthal prepared to give the order to obliterate the red planet. But his communications officer suddenly stiffened, all four arms working frantically over his console. "Admiral, we're detecting massive energy signatures throughout the system. Something's..." His words were cut short as space itself seemed to ripple around them. What had appeared to be empty void began to shimmer and fade, revealing the truth beneath the illusion. Where moments before there had been nothing but vacuum and distant planets, a vast defensive grid materialized. Thousands upon thousands of structures hung in perfectly coordinated formation. Space stations bristling with weapons, automated defense platforms, and ships unlike anything in the Empire's databases. "Impossible," Zixthal breathed. "Our scouts reported no such defenses." "Sir," the communications officer's voice trembled. "We're receiving a transmission. Audio only." A calm, distinctly human voice filled the bridge. "This is Admiral Sarah Chen of the Seoul Defense Command. You have entered human space with obvious hostile intent. You have 60 seconds to reverse course and leave our system, or we will consider you a clear and present danger to Earth and her colonies." Zixthal's mandibles clicked with anger. "Colonies? What colonies? And how dare they demand anything of the Empire?" He turned to his tactical officer. "Fire on the nearest platform. Show them the futility of resistance." The lead Korthani dreadnought unleashed a barrage of plasma fire at what appeared to be a small defense station. The bolt struck an invisible barrier and dissipated harmlessly, while the station itself seemed utterly undamaged. "Shields holding at 98%, came another human voice over the comm, almost bored. "Admiral, they've just declared hostile intent." "Copy that. Defense Platform 12. All units, weapons free. Let's send them home." What followed was not a battle. It was a demonstration. The human defenses revealed themselves in their true glory. Massive orbital rings around Earth crackling with energy, hidden weapon emplacements on asteroids throughout the belt, and fleets of ships that had been lurking behind advanced stealth technology. The first wave of human fire was surgical and devastating. Precisely targeted energy beams sliced through Korthani shields as if they were tissue paper, disabling ship after ship without destroying them. It quickly became clear that the humans weren't trying to kill, they were making a point. "How?" Zixthal demanded as his own flagship shuddered under a focused electromagnetic pulse that knocked out half their systems. "Our intelligence said they were primitive." His science officer looked up from his console, compound eyes wide with shock. "Admiral, I'm detecting massive industrial complexes on the dark side of their moon, cities floating in the upper atmosphere of their gas giants, mining operations throughout their asteroid belt. It's as if they've been preparing for this day for decades." Admiral Chen's voice crackled through the comm again. "You're probably wondering how we fooled your scouts. Truth is, we've been watching you, Korthani, for 50 years. Ever since you conquered the Zalani system. We knew you'd come for Earth eventually. You have a pattern. We've been preparing." More human ships decloaked around the Korthani fleet, sleek vessels that moved with predatory grace, their weapon systems charging with ominous energy signatures. "The thing about humans," Chen continued conversationally, as her forces systematically disabled the invading fleet, is that we're really good at two things: learning from other people's mistakes and preparing for the worst-case scenario. We've been studying every species you've conquered, analyzing your tactics, understanding your technology. Zixthal watched in horror as his seemingly invincible armada was reduced to floating scrap metal in less than 20 minutes. Not a single human ship had been lost. The few Corthani vessels that attempted to retreat found their hyperdrives mysteriously non-functional. We've been broadcasting everything that's happened here to every inhabited system within 50 light-years. Chen's voice now carried a steel edge. Consider this your formal introduction to humanity. We're not like the other species you've conquered. We don't wait for threats to come to us. We prepare for them. And we don't fight fair. The bridge of Zixthal's flagship went dark except for emergency lighting. Through the viewport, he could see human ships moving among the disabled Corthani vessels like shepherds tending a flock. Your crews will be treated according to our version of the laws of war, Chen continued. You'll be returned to Corthani, space with a message for your emperor. Earth is off limits. Any further aggression toward human space or our allies will be met with proportional response. And Admiral Zixthal? Next time we won't be so gentle. As rescue shuttles began docking with the crippled Corthani ships, Zixthal realized the true horror of what had transpired. The humans hadn't just defeated his fleet, they had done so while holding back their full strength. This had been a warning, not a battle. The Empire had awakened something far more dangerous than they could have imagined, a species that turned preparation into an art form and restraint into its own kind of terror. In the depths of space, Admiral Chen smiled as she watched the last Corthani shuttle disappear into hyperspace. The first test of humanity's defensive grid had exceeded all expectations. Now, the galaxy would know. Earth was ready.